Welcome, everyone, to Hanging Out with Howie on Monday nights on Disc Chuck and Use TV. We're right here in the chill room. So you're welcome to hang out anytime. We're open 24/7. Lots of good stuff goes on even late at night. I have a very special guest who's in the Witness Protection Program at the moment. uh, My buddy Jimmy Spin. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm doing great, man. Doing
So
great.
you
Fully recovered.
Oh man, that's good. So you've had happen to you what has happened to many of us, and maybe this can be helpful to some uh, new people that haven't had this happen before. You had a DJ cancel on a wedding, and you had less than a week's notice.
Yeah.
So, what is the first thing that you do when you get that call?
Ask them what their budget is.
Okay, so let's say you've agreed contractually and you've got a week left to go,
Okay.
then what are you going for? What sort of things are you asking them?
First thing is, if they're doing the ceremony on site and
Mhm.
I'm in charge of the ceremony and providing music and all that, I get
Mhm.
a lay of the land. Always first, every time I'm dealing with a wedding, I always get on my Google Earth, get on my Google and start looking up all kinds of pictures of the venue and
Mhm.
any resources I can find to see what I'm dealing with. All right.
Right.
Whether there's like goofy hills or whether there's power there at the ceremony location. That's a big thing. I mean, we do
Mhm.
have battery powered options, but it's pretty important to know.
Mhm.
Um, Really, the main thing dealing with them is getting their information in, all their
Mhm.
songs, their timeline, everything, getting the bulk load. And usually it's not a problem because they've already emailed it or communicated it with the DJ that backed out. So all they
Mhm.
gotta do is hit forward, forward, forward on all the emails they sent out and send it
Is
to
that
me.
is that what happened for you with this
Yeah.
particular instance? Oh, that was good.
Yeah. So
So,
it wasn't like pulling teeth. Everything had already been done. So they just had to
mhm.
send it to me.
I think you make a really good point about getting the lay of the land. We've done this when, you know, it's always advisable to do a site inspection, but
Mhm,
that one venue when we did that 80s party in Rome, New York,
mhm.
we weren't driving all that, 6 hours to do a site inspection. So,
No.
yeah, we went online and we're lucky that you found some pictures of the inside of it that we could,
Mhm.
you know, find these sort of things out. Now,
Um,
you mentioned that this was kind of like a converted type barn or a purpose built like barn style with a lot of
yeah, it was
tchotchkes
yeah, it
and
originally was like a semi-industrial site,
mhm
that was like a barn for tractors and things like that,
mhm
and, they basically cleaned it up.
mm,
I mean, versus what you saw on Google Earth and what you saw when you went on site to their website is 2 different things.
mhm
Then I get there and it had been upgraded even further when I got
mhm.
on site. So the website was probably about 4 years old. So they had done some extra things and for the positive, it was good. It was an interesting place to put it mildly. It had lots of stuff.
Now you ran into something that um it should be a standard practice if you folks aren't doing this is to check the electrical outlets with a very simple polarity tester, and you found out you didn't have a ground.
No
So,
ground.
so tell us what you did. I thought that was very, very wise what you did.
All
As a
right.
licensed electrician, I think you did the proper thing there. So tell us about that.
You ground to the closest ground you can find. I a pipe, you know, any kind of sewer pipe, any kind of metal pipe going into the ground. You strap onto it do via a wire ground lifter and run a loop over to it. Well, not a loop, but a lead over to it.
Mhm.
And yeah, just make sure don't make it tacky. Don't let it stick out. You know,
Mhm.
anything like that. Just kind of be low key with it. All right, and it's just for safety, just in case.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And also, well, safety's number one, but it could cause some hums, in the
Yeah.
system and so forth like that. And uh, the one of the very best grounds that you can get is a water pipe.
Hmm.
Uh, because it's as long as it's metal and it's going actually into the ground,
Into the ground.
and that will make a very good ground
Yeah.
for you for temporary. And
Mhm.
hopefully they do get that, checked out
Yeah.
and fixed for the next person. So now, now tell me, do you do the same thing I do? Like typically with something an emergency like that, it would be, hey, look, give me give me 10 must plays,
Hmm.
or the genre that you're going for,
Yeah.
what the type of crowd is that what you did with them, or did they actually send you a
Well, like I said, they had it already ready,
Mhm.
the list, so I didn't have to do anything. They just forwarded me every bit of information that they sent to the other DJ, and I
Mhm.
had, like 90% of the stuff. I mean,
Right.
aside from a few country songs and some special songs by,
Mhm.
one of them was, what's her name? Lambert. I can't think of her name. But anyways, I had just about everything. So there
Mhm.
wasn't too much. And my partner in crime that helped me that day is actually in here watching right now. Have to
Gregory's
yeah,
here. Yes, I
had
see
to
him there.
send a
Yeah.
special thank you to Gregory because he was the man with the jam, boy. He was on it. He was totally on it. So he took care of ceremony for me. I just sent him the list and he went and got everything. There was one little quirky thing that was like a Metallica instrumental. So I went and found that one, but that was we worked together. We worked together great actually.
Yeah,
He
I had the pleasure of working with Gregory and
mhm,
you down in North Carolina,
yeah,
and yeah, yeah, he knows his
yeah,
stuff. He's a hard worker. So
he's on
tell
top
me,
of things.
where did you bury the Metallica um, instrumental? Was that
It
like
was
for
part
dinner
of
or
the
cocktail?
ceremony.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, all
Now
these
that's
people,
unusual.
their their recessional was "Sweet Child of Mine."
Oh my goodness! So
Yeah,
they're rockers, huh?
yeah, they were rockers. I played a good amount of everything. I played club hits, but I also
Hmm.
played country and classic rock. So
Well, with your experience too, you can read a room pretty well, and
yeah,
so I'm sure it
mhm,
went really well for you. At least the
yeah,
pictures that I've seen, it
hmm,
looked like it was a good time.
oh yeah,
So and so I really liked the effects wash lights for you because of how bright that room was.
yeah.
They kind of really, it really took over for the photo ops, which is what we do is make photo ops. And I
Well,
really,
I originally had amber up. Classic
hmm
amber works great.
hmm
I watched the photographer. I called her over. I'm like, "Hey, you want that switched over to white? Like a warm white?" And she's like, "Can you?" Bang, had it not even 20 seconds.
hmm
I switched it, for the special picks. Yep,
hmm
right on top of it without a didn't even miss a beat, man. Just
so
went right in there.
let me guess. Were you using something like this where all you had to do is tap a tile and give her color?
You mean this? You mean
That's right.
you mean that software that we use that you helped me plug in a couple other lights that there wasn't any there wasn't any programs for, so we wrote a couple of those, and with your help I got through it very well. You are
Yeah.
the master of the DMX bridge, man.
Well, I'm glad it went well. It didn't take long to talk you through and get you set up with making a profile.
Well, I jumped ahead on
And
a couple
so
of things. You're like, "What are you doing? Wait."
I just didn't want you to make mistakes.
No,
So, and it came out well. I'm glad.
it was from your
So,
earlier tutelage that I was able to jump ahead. So there you go.
yeah. So, yeah. So, how many programs did you wind up making then for your lighting?
Only about, I think, 8.
That's
Not a
about all
lot.
you really need.
Really?
Three slow scenes, 4 or 5,
Yeah,
different scenes, as long as it's something different. And you use some sound active
yeah,
things as well,
yeah,
because that gives the illusion that you're programming. And that's important because some of the lights that are out there that are, you know, auto programs, people get to the point where they're going to say, I know what color's coming up next. Oh,
hmm,
it's red. I was right, and you can throw them off there where
yeah,
it looks like you're doing more than you really are, and you can concentrate on your mix and
yeah.
interacting with the crowd.
Well, the nice thing about the color wash effects, there's pixel mapping or whatever, they don't
Mm-hmm.
always stay on the same cluster, so they're bouncing around. Nobody's gonna follow that. Nobody's gonna memorize,
Right.
a thing. There's just too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
But everything went well. First dances, it was a big wedding party, man. 17 people to announce into the room.
Okay. And did you memorize all those?
Hell no, man. No, I read off my I read right off my computer. I shrink my video screen down, the controller effect screen down to 2/3, and I use the
Right.
other third because I'm using an iMac.
Mm-hmm.
Us old guys, we don't want to squint on a laptop and go, "What's that say?" No,
Yeah,
no,
you don't have that Serato look.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
noticed that you
exactly.
you always use that 1/3 for timeline and so forth and
Timeline and anything else
names.
that I need to
Yep.
pull up,
Mhm.
any songs on my hard drive, I don't, that I don't have into a crate, I can pull in things, do a quick search. I could search
Mhm.
the whole hard drive. I usually have one or two hooked up, so
Mhm.
works out good.
So, how were they happy with what they got? I would imagine if
Oh yeah.
me as a customer, I'd be like, "Wow, last minute, I hope this guy is good." Um,
Well,
you
I
know.
I talked to him and I shared some video of past performances and
Mhm.
directed him to my website, told him, "Hey, take a look at, what the comments are and everything, and yeah, you decide if I'm worth it." And originally they had a kind of a low budget for the event, and I got them to boost it up a couple $100 more.
Mhm.
So worked out good.
And what I like too, you didn't take advantage of the last minute situation. That's
No,
honorable. Um,
no, I
you know.
mean, you know, if somebody's being a bridezilla, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to cut them a break. But these people they were nice people. They were
Mhm.
nice people, and take care of nice people. Not to
Exactly.
mention, she's a stylist who has a lot of potential brides coming in and out of her place, hearkening back to uh, Jay's comments from
Yes.
several weeks ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, you take care of them, all right, because they're a source of a lot of future business.
Well, let's give Jay credit then. Tell him
Yeah,
what Jay's idea was
Jay's idea
or
was,
is.
yeah, Jay's idea was to, basically. they get their wedding almost for free. All right. With the constant referrals. Now me, I do it different. I do a kickback after the fact because there's no guarantees of, this, because on this situation, there's no build up to the wedding. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't book, you know, several weddings before their wedding. Now, if they're getting a wedding, they're getting married a year from now, and they refer me, several weddings, then I can get to a point and say, okay, you guys give me so much business, yours is free.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the idea. You take care of the people that take care of you.
Now, how did you go about this? It was the business cards?
Yeah, I gave them nice, ooh, breaking up on that green screen. Um, give them a nice thick, stack of business cards and
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, I'd really appreciate if you refer me to some of your clients in the future. And if you
Mm-hmm.
like what I did, you know, and I go, I take care of people that
Mm-hmm.
throw business my way.
Right.
And I went like that, rub the two fingers together. You get it.
Oh, okay. So you had to give them a little bit of Italian in there, huh?
Yeah, I had to give them, hey, you know.
Well, so tell me, what was it like? We haven't done events. We're going on 18 months now. How did it feel, dude?
Felt good. Felt good. I actually, I, I'm not one of these, hey, hey, ho, ho, jump,
Right.
jump at you, open that mic up every 10 seconds, like, everybody in the house go, yeah. No, that's not me. But
Mhm.
I do say, hey, you having a good time? Let me hear you say, yeah, right? And they were
Mhm.
screaming, yeah. And if they didn't scream, I'd like, come on, you can do better than that. Right. And then they scream full, you know, sometimes they don't always catch you on the first one, but they're
Right.
ready for it. And the fun part is when they're doing sing-alongs and you
Mm.
drop the song out from behind them and they're like, and they get caught and they're like, and then you bring it back up and they're all laughing. You have that beautiful moment.
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
do it again and they scream and sing it as loud as they can. Yeah.
So now, so you enjoyed being out doing an actual wedding after 18 months.
Yeah.
How did the crowd feel? Did you get any feedback from them? Where they must have been
Oh, they were
excited to be
happy.
out.
They were
Yeah.
happy. Even young people were dancing. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There was an older, grandparents type crowd there a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
several couples. And I'll be honest, I don't ever play Swing the Mood or any of that stuff. Hardly. It's just I've killed it. It's been there, and I just haven't touched it in a while. I went and played that and several others that I haven't played in a long time, and it popped. The grandma or auntie or whatever she was out there dancing. She was dancing to the hip hop. They were just,
That's great.
yeah, they were really eating it up, and yeah, it went well. Went really well. Bride
Oh,
was really happy. The groom was very happy. It was a long day though. I'll tell you that much. It was a really long day. This was a seven
well,
hour wedding, or
right.
as John refers to it, as a Minnesota wedding.
A Minnesota wedding, yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
Jimmy, give us some final thoughts here for some people that may not have experienced this sort of thing. What should they be looking out for, other than some of the things you mentioned? If they get that last minute, like
if
my DJ can't make it or my DJ canceled, are you available?
don't be desperate for the gig. All right.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't do it, you can't do it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to turn somebody down than go out and do a bad gig and screw things up. All right,
Mhm.
because you only got one shot. You got one chance to get in front of people. All right,
Mhm.
and you don't want to wreck it. So be honest
Yeah.
with yourself. Can I do this wedding? Can I do it
Mhm.
effectively?
Mhm.
Um, and I made sure, I made sure I had Greg on backup and everything. So we had two DJs there, very capable
Mhm.
DJs.
Mhm.
Um, playing lighting. I had you help me through that one little thing with those two new lights that I was going to get around to them, but I thought I had another month before my wedding started. So yeah, just be honest with yourself if I can take and do a good job with this, regardless of how desperate they are.
Mhm.
All right. And if not, pass it on to one of your friends.
Right.
Be honest with yourself, be honest with them. If they don't
Mhm.
have enough money in their budget, say, hey, yeah, I'd love to do this to you, but I can't do it for half price, but I'll meet you somewhere in the middle
Mhm.
or something. And
All
be
right.
fair to yourself, be fair to them. That's it.
All right. My final thoughts are going to be, folks, it's opening up and it's going quickly. I would suggest you do a thorough run through of your system, uh, your cables. If you don't have a cable tester, Ben Stowe has the Moat. Uh, Actually, set everything up and verify that it works. And if you haven't been practicing these past 18 months like we have, I don't know what to tell you, but get into it quick and hopefully it's like riding a bike for you. But I was able to help you with the lighting because I'm doing it every
Yeah.
day.
Luckily,
Um,
my last wedding was in October. So
hmm.
it wasn't like, I've gone a year or more without a wedding.
Right. But you've been playing, practicing and playing
Oh,
every
yeah, I've
day.
been on
So,
Twitch.
yeah. So, anyway, folks, that is the definition of luck. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Jimmy, you were prepared and the opportunity came along and it was luck. So,
Yep.
with that, we're going to close. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll be back next Monday at 10 o'clock here in the chill room. Hang around after the show, and we'll have a little chat here. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good night.